Hello people, welcome back. Sorry for the delay, been a few changes going on recently. First change, we're in the process of adopting 2 huskies. Also upgraded my phone and in the process lost the content from my glasses. And finally had a quick getaway, taking the kids away for a long weekend at Disney. Welcome back to Project Dakar. In this part of the video, we're going to be doing something with the front brake. Empty reservoir, no front brake whatsoever. We're going to put it to the test to see if you can get a decent brake lever without cracking the bleed nipple at the bottom. Again, I'm not advising you to do this. I would always bleed the brake properly, correctly. If you've ever suffered with a brake lever, I'm assuming you can probably get it on a clutch as well, but you tend to find it more on a brake. If you've ever got a lever where when you go to apply pressure, it feels like jerky, doesn't feel like a smooth, nice, clean operation. A lot of the time it can come down to the pivot bolt here, one that goes down through the middle. Bikes that are left or used in all kind of seasons, so in the rain and whatnot, you can find you can get a bit of corrosion in here. It loses its lubrication. Corrosion, did I say? Yeah, it loses its lubrication in here. And then what you tend to find is when you pull a lever, it kind of it snatches. This one is a tiny little bit, not too bad, but it's always a good idea, in my opinion, that every now and again, just to keep everything running smooth and nice, lubricate the pivot for the brake lever itself. So what I'm going to do, the plan is, I'm going to remove this, clean it up, bit of grease on there, put it back together, and then, like I say, we've got no brake on here. As a test, we're going to see, in case anybody ever doubts it or ever wonders, it's more of a get you out of jail free card for whatever reason. For whatever reason, if you've lost your front brake, technically you'd have probably crashed. This is purely a can you do it, show you how to do it, get you out of jail free card, but please bleed your brakes properly. But again, this is just really a bit of a test, a bit of a mess around just to show you. 10mm spanner. To be fair, most of them I've come across are a 10mm spanner. With a lot of these, the pivot pins, the nut on the bottom is a locking nut that stops the actual main bolt coming out. So crack off the locking nut like so, and then you can wind the bolt out. So you see there's no lubrication on that whatsoever, just starting to go a little bit rusty. So what I tend to do, see, all dry. Don't want to go too mad on it, not trying to grind it all down and reduce its size, just get rid of any surface corrosion that's on there. Scotch-Brite, fine, wet and dry paper, wire wheel, whatever, really. Do, say, apply a bit of grease on contact patches, bit of grease down the middle, and just because I'm going to put a little bit of grease in there. Where the end of the piston in the master cylinder sits. So we've greased up the contact patches and put a bit of grease down in there. This is the end of the piston. So this is the rod that pushes against the piston, should I say. And in here you have a little piston that slides up and down, side to side in the master cylinder with different seals on it that pushes fluid down the line. So I'm going to pop this in there, nice and free still, nice and lubricated, so that will prevent any form of raunchiness, judder. What we'll do now, remove the reservoir cap. If, oh, I like that one, there we go, that's quite tight. Little trick, okay, while you're applying a little bit of pressure, okay, you tap down absolutely failed. Oh, bastard. Fuck, I needed a bigger hammer. There we go. Let's remove this. When I put fluid in, at the moment there's no fluid in there, I just took the cap off. Completely empty master cylinder, completely empty brake pipe, completely empty brake caliper. If you're in a rush, you're on the clock, working at work, then you're not going to do this. This is just merely a bit silly, bit of entertainment. You might find it entertaining, but I kind of find it quite satisfying flicking the lever and seeing all the bubbles coming up. Obviously from completely dry, I will put this in a bit of a time lapse. And view from this point. So just by working the lever, normally find you get quite a bit out just flicking the end, like push it all the way down and then play with the free play on the end. And just from this angle, see the air bubbles coming up just by playing with the lever. It's hard to show how much you're pulling the lever, but like I say, I mean, that's a good. It's not a good lever. That would stop you without any shadow of a doubt. That's not one of those you pull the lever back to the bar and it slowly. I reckon you could lock the front wheel with that. But like I say, haven't touched the bleed nipple. That's purely just working the lever from the top. I am now going to go and actually do it from the bottom. So I'll be back. Now, let me get the torch. So hopefully you're going to be able to see, because it's going to be really annoying if you can't. Now this pipe's not connected to anything, it's just up. So just by pumping the lever at the top, I managed to gain about half a lever. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply pressure, I'm going to open its nipple. That's 3 pumps, I think. Three pumps, and I've already got a really good lever up the top there, so. No more air coming out the bottom. What was that, 4 pumps? And I'll show you at the top here. And now, and obviously if I really give it some, yeah, you can obviously pull it back. But really, if you're any more than that, you're going to be skidding the front wheel. I've got brand new brake pads obviously in there, so they need to bed in. But, you know, considering that was all I've done is pump that much through it, and I've got a really decent lever up at the top, and I think that will do it. The lever's decent. The pads will need to settle down obviously because they're brand new brake pads. Go, front brakes bled. I may re-bleed once I've been on the first ride to the MOT place. The bleed nipple cover on, and I'll call that a success. I'll put the cap back on, Bit of grease on the bolts. If you fit new brake pads to a bike on old discs, even to be fair, if you've got brand new discs and brand new pads, you tend to find that the brake lever's not as good. It needs a few miles for the pads to fully bed to the disc. So at the moment, I wouldn't expect a perfect brake lever. So I'm happy with that at the moment. Oh yeah. Just a chain adjustment and the rear pads, and then I go from happy to sad. Gutted. Okie dokie, rear brake pads in, just a chain tension. For anybody that may be interested, front brake pads FA209/2, and the rear brake pads FA213. So when you're adjusting a chain, you've got to make sure that you've got the same on both sides. So 5 and 6 is on that side. Oh my god, falling over. And we go around this side and we have 5 and 6. So we are a little bit tighter on this side than the other side, so I'm going to slacken that off to start with. And because these were cleaned up and packed out with grease, I'm hoping now that these are nice and free. So what I'm going to do is slacken this side off. Okay, so we are between 5 and 6 on that side, symmetrically 5 and 6, and I'm going to go a little bit on this side as well. Then what I find is if you get something round and the paddock stand is fouling on the sprocket nuts, just for reference. So what I'm going to do, put that there, you see. If I nip up, put it so that basically what I'm doing is I'm hopefully going to make the chain a little bit too slack, and then I'm just going to apply a little, like nip the axle nut up, ever so spindle nut, whatever you want to call it, ever so slightly so it grips the wheel, but you should still be able to turn the adjusters to come back out if you need to. Okay, so that's nipped. Now I can remove this. Okay, there we go. Now it should be just 40 to 50 millimeters. So 40 to 50 millimeters is a brand new chain, so the chain will stretch. The first few rides out on it, it will stretch. So you move it that way a little bit. So what you would do is tend to go, all bikes can vary, into the middle. So I tend to go up. So top of the chain sitting at 30 mil, 10, 20, 30, 40, and it's 40 to 50 mil. So at the minute, it will get slacker as a ride, but I'm just going to nip down to put some fuel in it. Hopefully that's the plan. Heat up the back brake, and basically as it is, I'll pump up the tyres and then run it just down the road to the petrol station. I want to put some fresh fuel in it. If I put some good high octane fuel in it, then hopefully that might assist in this bit of a lumpy running scenario, because like I say, the fuel in this is probably best part of 3 years old now. So I know from here as well it looks like chains are stiff and whatnot, but it is a brand spanking new chain. Okay, brand new, not been used. So it's just a case of it's going to have to bed in, clean it up, bit of lubricant. But at the minute, that's factory. It's just been sat in the garage for probably over a year. So right, I'm going to nip up the rear wheel spindle. Let's get on to bleeding these brakes. Remove the rear brake reservoir seal. get that kind of concertina's back up a little bit, he says. There we go, so it should look more like this. If I go around this side, you'll see all I've done. Got the pipe going upwards, so all the air is going to travel upwards and there'll be constant fluid at this point here, okay, at the actual bleed nipple, and obviously it just goes into this bottle, which is whatever. So I'm going to top up the brake fluid reservoir. Currently there's no brake fluid in it, it's completely, well, near enough a dry system. So let's start filling and pumping. Open that up. Ooh. There. All I'm doing here, oh, something's happening. Feel it happening. All I'm doing is pumping, and then I'll pump it up. I'll release the while holding the brake pedal down after I've pumped it. I'll hold it down, and then open the spanner, and then quickly close it again. So like now. Oh yeah, oh, that back brake pedal's really good. Yes, we have a brake pedal. Front and rear brake pedal. Tick. So what we got? 13.08 volts. Nice. So at this point here, I was absolutely buzzing. Everything was looking good. Got the bike out. Obviously it's not finished, but was feeling good. Oh. Fucking hell, this is getting fucking annoying. Brilliant. And there we go, people. Very frustrated, very annoyed, all that effort, and you just feel like you're going backwards. But thanks for watching, people, and yeah, that's how we got from happy to like that. See you later.